Shalom, Yasharella. It took me a long time to get on. They didn't want me to get on today, boy. I've been trying to get on since my regular time. But I'm never going to give up. Just got to keep fighting. So welcome, everyone. We're going to go into a high topic tonight on envy. I see it's a lot of that going on in Israel, has been throughout the ages, and it's going to be a two-part, at least I plan on it being two parts. Could be more, I can't say, but we're going to get started since we have a late start. As always, I'm going to start with Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do, and word or deed, do all by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Give thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. So all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior Mashiach Yahushua. We give thanks to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You can't go wrong with using his name, as he said in Exodus 3:15. This is my name forever, memorial to all generations of Mashiach Yahushua. Used it. Paul used it. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Can't go wrong with that. So that's his name forever, memorial to all generations. We thank the Most High for another day closer to the kingdom, another day he give us to get us together, right? So we're going to look at envy. And, a lot of it, really, you can really just go into love thy neighbor thyself, really covers it all. Because all throughout the Bible, we got to be told to love each other. It don't take much for us to just find something to be, I don't like you no more. I don't like you. I don't like that, like complain about this, mockers and scorners, scoffers, all this that we have against each other. And then you go to your job and yes, I'm boss, yes, I'm boss, yes, I'm boss. But when you come to us as a people, we don't like each other. And I don't understand. Well, I do understand through the scriptures, but that's just a figure of speech. We saying that sometimes, but because I know what I know from my years and years and years of learning what the scripture says and how we are, what the Most High had to tell us how to be over and over again, how to love each other. Over and over again. Love your neighbor, love your brother, love your sister. And it just take boom. Then next thing you know, you have an attitude, you got a problem. That's something that, and especially now been induced on our people as far as dealing with mind control and so forth for this nature. And it's like we fighting demons in high places, these demons in high places, giving those that are able to give whatever it is to us, feed us with, everything. Like the Most I say, we're going to drink poison to live, from our water, food, different injections they've given us and, different things like chemtrails. I mean, what is that? Falling down on us all the time, the things that we're exposed to. Well, we got to fight hard and harder and harder and harder to not be as they would have us to be, and that's against each other. That's part of the curses. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass. Once I said it's a future prophecy. If thou, who are we, the Israelites, will not hearken, listen unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, yours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, to observe to do all his commandments, not our commandments, his commandments. You hear that, preachers? There are his commandments, the ones you tell the people they ought to follow. And his statutes. You see, it said his statute, that his is the Most High. That I is the Most High, command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. That's where we at, He told us, he said in verse 28, he said, the Most High shall smite thee with madness. So we don't want to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. And the second greatest commandment is just like the first. Love thy Most High, love the Most High with all thy heart, mind, and soul, strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. They both very important. And all throughout the Bible, you can see that he's always telling us to love each other. We have to come back because we don't love each other. We love everybody else, but we don't love ourselves. He said in the Most High, verse 28, and the Most High shall smite thee with madness. That's madness. That's one thing I can say. And nobody could ever testify against me that I envied someone. He never did that. And blindness, where you can't see, or people can't see. Not necessarily just can't see as far as dealing with eyesight, but we're talking about blindness and being ignorant, in darkness. When you close your eyes, it's dark. So you're in dark, you can't see. Blindness. And astonishment of heart, astonishment of mind, amazed at everything, except for we're supposed to be amazed about coming back to the Most High. Saying, thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind grope in darkness, ignorance not knowing, and can't see, as the actual blind person can't see, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. It's all for breaking the Most High's commandments and laws. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. I think a lot of people, they get into camps, they get into congregations, and it's no different than the people that go to these churches. They say, you got to listen to my preacher. It's no different than you come in here and you say, you got to listen to a man. Ain't no man going to save us. The Most High the one going to save us. Him only. He the only one knows when he's going to set righteousness on this earth. But a lot of people look for a man. It's easy to blame a man. But how hard it is to blame the Most High? You see? He said, no man going to save you because he the one going to save us. They asked him about Shai twice. He said, I don't know. Only the Most High know. And shalom to everyone. Welcome. This is real. And it happened to us because we broke the Most High's commandments until this day. Well, you have people that they don't like each other. Women don't like other women. They be clicking. Men be clicking together. We're a nation. Like you look at all the different counts. We can't even come together for no meeting or anything of that nature. When the body is a nation, the body of Mashiach Yahushua is a nation of people. Not no one camp, not no one congregation, not no one church. We're a nation. When you get nation in your mind, because you think about this, your congregation going to meet your judgment seat of Mashiach Yahushua. And your congregation have all the 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel. And you're willing to go to the throne of the Most High and tell him, since you're telling everybody else. And he hear everything. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man. Even the secret parts, it says, I couldn't form my mouth to say that the only truth is right here. That makes no sense at all. Because we know in part and prophesy in part. For real, for real. Listen, that's why I don't understand how people can be envious and jealous of people when you look at our story or what all we've been through, to see one of us be successful or have, something that someone else don't have, that's not really doing the same thing that they went through to get to whatever they got. Something wrong with you. That's kind of mental illness. But it's part of what the Most High said. I don't think we have to remain in these curses. He said, in verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. See, that's part of the curses. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward a remnant of his children, which he shall leave. It's a lot of, divorces and how, Men have left the children and the wife. All that happens. It's happening, you know? And it's sad because we can overcome this with the spiritual awareness of doing what the Most High say do, seeking hard to find out what it is that we need to do so we don't offend him, first and foremost. And to not offend him is to try and find out what would please him, what did please him. Look, I can't reach it now, but I'll have it for next time. You know, the things that please him, because this world is selfish. This world is prideful, and this world is all about me, I. You see, that's why a brother could be evil, his eye could be evil toward his brother because of envy. But everybody have the opportunity to survive and do whatever they need to do to strive to do better, or be content with what you have, that you have worked to get. You know, whatever capacity that you have mentally is what you have, and just deal with it. Don't be envious of someone. And it's cold. 56, tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness. That's how tender our women were. And that's how tender you women were. Your feet were so delicate, y'all weren't walking around barefoot. You see what it said? The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. She shall eat them for want of all things secretly in deceit and straightness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. I mean, we were starving so much that we had to eat our children. And the men, he said about the men in verse 55, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. When our enemies came and got us. Man, it's cold. Verse 58 will say, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear, be afraid, be scared, this glorious and fearful name, the Most High thy power. Then the Most High will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, the plagues of our children, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, plural, and of long continuance. Like some of these sicknesses that they have now that's uncurable. It's uncurable. That's why we have no room to be envying anyone, you know? It's like desire to have a quality, possessed by someone else. You despise the fact that they have whatever they have, or they're doing whatever they're doing. desirable, have the attributes belonging to someone else. When the Most High made us all, and you have opportunity to be who you are who you are. You got to be content with who you are. Or are you going to face the Most High in prayer and you sitting here envying someone? That's right. Shai told us in Mark 11, 25 and 26, many times. Mark 11, 25. And shalom, everybody. Welcome. Give a like and share the video. It says, and when you stand praying, forgive if you have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses, the things you've done wrong. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. That's kind of hard for people that's going through something with someone. You know, a lot of times, you know, they going through, that's why I say, when I say spiritual, you gotta let it go. If you really, really believe in the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua and what he's telling us to do. But we have all these different things, all kinds of things to get in our way in this world that we're in right now, to have us deviate from the way we really should be. Spiritually, I might say. Carnally, you can't do this. Carnal person can't be able to do this. Because people have grudges, they hate on people from day to day. The Most High said, don't let the sun go down upon your wrath. But people have, you know, this envy and jealousy and pride, trying to be someone in this wicked damn nation, trying to shine, want to be fat. Remember the fat ones in the wilderness that was crying about, we ain't got nothing to eat out here, quail? Most I killed all of them. All the ones probably was complaining the most, who had to eat the most, eating all the quail up. He bought so much quail, you couldn't even see the ground. They cooking the quail, give me that quail, give me that quail. Most I killed the fat ones, the ones that probably complaining the most because they desired the most because they eat too much. It's real, y'all. You get some characteristics of it. Go to Romans, first chapter. Romans, the first chapter. So you got to let all that go. You got to let all that go. Or you're going to fit into one of these categories. Believe that. I don't know why nobody in me. And I love to see how people come up, man. From where we come from, you know, that's the Willie Lynch, you know. Don't let me pull out the Willie Lynch on you, because that's what it is. They program us from Willie Lynch. You're talking about it's not real. They said a foolproof plan might last forever until we come out of the osmosis of dealing with the way they would have us not have us programmed, but programmed us. You got to be deprogrammed, because if not, you're going to still fall into the same way that they program us to be. That's why you see all the different religions that they started, and we still in it, and still, you know, have a problem with anybody that go against it. Here we go. Romans, the first chapter. Romans, the first chapter. We're going to start at the 25th verse. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? That's a real dynamite question. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? Now, earlier, we know what the truth is, class, right? Psalms 119, 142. We can sing it together. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth, right? So who changed the laws and the commandments of the Most High into a lie? First and foremost, anyone that said we're not under the law. First and foremost, anyone that says we ain't under the commandments that we just read over and over again, his commandments. My commandments. That's the Most High. Most High wrote those commandments. They're not teaching that. So therefore, they come out there with their beautiful, surroundings and so forth, thousands of dollars suits on, and people think that they are sent from the Most High. And they're not. You talk about them. Because when you open up this Bible and really go into what it's really talking about, that's why I'm saying, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? They did. They're doing that. And worship and serve the creature more than the creator. And I say that people talk about people who are creatures too, more than the Most High. Or prove me wrong. Send me some conversations that you know of that's not about people, mainly. Generally, everybody talk about themselves, this happened, that. It's people. And nobody talking about the Most High. They worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Think about how many birthdays they did today. All praise to that person. All praise to that person. All praise to that person. That person. All the escalates go to that person. That's why we don't deal with no birthdays. You can find no birthdays in the Bible that we did as Israelites. You do that. Show me your Mashiach Shai's 25th birthday party. You got to be able to show me at least a party that Joseph and Mary had for him before he was, his 16-year-old birthday party. Talk to me. Paul. How about Isaiah? Jeremiah? Daniel? You have to be able to go somewhere. What about Peter? You can't find it. Shalom, welcome. You won't find it nowhere. I'm just giving you that example. Worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Then look what they say right there. Look what he put right there. Now they call him the Most High. But see, that'll go past most people's head that's not really looking at this spiritually and not looking at whatever it is that can offend the Most High. Look what it's saying. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So the creator is Amen. See, just with a dot there, y'all call it a period, but that's what they're calling the Most High. Stuck it in there. See, Zeus last name. Don't give a dang, you do it in Hebrew, Greek, French, German, whatever. It still go back to Zeus last name, Amen. But see, we'll catch that. These are things that the Spirit is showing me in these last days for the nation. I stand strong and wholeheartedly on. And my love for the Most High, my love for Mashiach Yahushua, that's been tampered with. Can y'all hear that? Or maybe y'all can't hear. Like I say, blindness going to be on the people. Darkness, they can't see. Many of things that I see that people are still doing, I heard LORD, I met a brother that said I taught him 20 years ago, but he don't know about LORD over and over again. So these are the things that, like I said, but I have patience because it's going to take time. But we all have to make that effort to be able to continue, and you can't be frustrated. I'm not frustrated because they don't get it. I just going to continue to do it because we got ADHD spiritually. All of us. I have it. And some things you have it in some things, we all have it in some things. We know in part and prophesy in part. It's just a matter of continuing to do it, and they hear it, and maybe one day it clicks, bam, and they'll see. But y'all see that? You can I get a one if anybody see that? Because I mean, they can disguise it if they don't want to. They ain't disguise it. To me, it says, who changed the truth of the Most High to a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And I'll spell it because Moses said in Exodus 23:13, those that have been around, he said, be circumspect, don't let the name of other gods come out of thy mouth. That's why I'm not saying the name of that. That's a God. And that's the Greek God, Zeus, last name. Now, I asked everybody before I start bringing it out, what's Zeus, the Greek God, Zeus last name? Nobody knows. Nobody knows this. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that's been hidden that the Spirit of the Most High is bringing out, especially when I went over Hosea 5:15. I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge our offense. When I got to offense, all kind of things start coming to me in the Spirit. Look at that lesson I did on Hosea, the 5th chapter, the 15th verse. If you really love the Most High, because it's about him, till we acknowledge our offense and seek his face. He said, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early. And that's Jacob's trouble. That's why, I'm giving you as much as I can the future in the present. We're working like we in the future in the present. What's going to happen in the future? I'm showing you the present so that you have opportunity at least. We have opportunity at least to look at this and look at how this could be offensive. What if somebody called you a name that's not your name? How would you feel? You'd probably be upset. They call you a name that's not your name, especially with him, the Most High. Can I get a one? Anybody see that? And worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Is that his name? And see, they took it like, they made it like, y'all understand, they had our Bible for hundreds and hundreds of years. And knowing that they have the chosen people, the children of Israel, in captivity, slavery, and bondage. But they got our book. This for us. It was written for us for the time to come. So nobody see that. Y'all still dealing with probably so be it, huh? Let it be. Let it be done. You heard what I said. That's why I looked at AMENS. When I ask brothers, I tell the story all the time. Like, what does AMEN mean? So be it. What's AMEN? AMEN mean, brother. So be it. So be it. I don't feel no humility in that at all. You're going to tell the Most High, so be it. But it's here right here. I'm looking how they put it in here. Period, or comma, whatever. It's right there. Their God. Zeus. That's the last time he was identified. Alexander the Greek went all the way back to the Egyptians and chose their God. He compared the Persian and Mede, who they had conquered. So they was right there looking at what they were dealing with. And he went back to the Egyptians. It was marveled over the Egyptians, Sphinx and pyramids and all that. They was marveled over. That's why Napoleon had paid $100 for the men to blow off the noses of Sphinx. The big noses, you know what I mean? Because there wasn't no pointed nose on it. The big show, So these are the things that we got to look at. Be envied for the Most High. Have a spirit to feel for the Most High. Because I see none of y'all responded. when I say you see it, so maybe that's what y'all still saying at the end of y'all prayers. He said, for this cause the Most High gave them up for vile affections. Think about it. He said, for this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature. Women with women. That's what it's talking about. The Most High, for this cause, and trust and believe. You could think any way you want to think. For this cause, the Most High gave them up for vile affections. Now, I spent a lot of time on talking about the Creator, the Most High, who is blessed forever. But he's not envied. Y'all can continue to do that if you want to, and offend the Most High. And this could happen to you. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, meaning women with women. They're still calling on that God, that Egyptian God, that Greek God, Zeus, or the Egyptian God, Emera. But did you see that? Or you don't see it? I see it clearly. And likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another. That's a real evil spirit right there. That's some evil spirits right there. I can't relate to that. Beautiful as our women are, man. How can a man look at another man and like another man? Man, but for this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. The last thing he said was what? Amen. For this cause, the Most High gave them up for vile affections. And see, these vile affections will have you envying somebody, looking at somebody and envying them, being jealous of them, hating on them. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. Especially in these last days, if you don't really tune in to everything you can, or somebody got to correct me, and looking at everything that I can that would offend the Most High. Or you say I'm being technical. I want to hear from you. So we can go to the throne of the Most High and say that's not what it is. That they didn't do that. Having our Bible 100-something years, over 100 years. And you know, they took things out, they put things in. That's why I say, hey, making women be with women, men be with men, all of that. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, man. Vile affections. Verse 27, and likewise also the men, leaving a natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another. Men with men. That's why, you know, verse 26 talk about women with women. Because verse 27 is talk about men with men, working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was right, which was meat, which is right. You see, men with men, man. That's for this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, man. Women with women, men with men. And y'all understand, it's really important because we in these last days, and like I said, I can't say it enough. The only one going to deliver us is the Most High. Isaiah, the 1st chapter, verse 9. Here we are here. Isaiah 1 and 9 in these last days said, except the Most High of hosts, army of angels, had left unto us a very small remnant. You know, not a remnant, but a very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. You're reading about it right there. Paul's telling you right there. I mean, you're being told right there in Romans, the 1st chapter. If he ain't leave a very small remnant, gonna be a remnant, it's a very, I mean, the remnant, he's talking about lesser than a remnant. Be just like that. Romans 1:28. And this is why they envy. And even as they did not like to attain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. You hear that? Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. The base, man. Good for nothing mind. To do those things which are not convenient, man. And that's why I say it's so important in the spirit to come back to the Most High and look at what it is that he desires us to do and not to do. Simple as that. Do this, don't do that. Being filled with all unrighteousness. We know what righteousness is. You got to go there. Because to learn what unrighteousness is, you got to know what righteousness is, right? So, Deuteronomy 6:25. That's why I tell you, it's very important to remember these definitions from the scriptures. And I have to review it because you have new people that's listening. And we can't review enough. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, which he have commanded us, right? So righteousness is keeping of the commandments of the Most High. So unrighteousness is not keeping the commandments of the Most High. Bing, see somebody go. I don't want to hear that. We ain't under no commandment. We ain't under no law. We're under grace. So here we are. This is why Most High gave them a reprobate mind. Good for nothing mind. Useless, worthless mind. Romans 1:29. Being filled with all unrighteousness. Being filled with breaking the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High. And I was going into it. Fornication, wickedness. All these words I'd like for you to look up. You know, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy. See, you go to envy right there. Full of envy. For what? I mean, why would you be envious of someone? Because you got an evil spirit. Or evil spirits in you. For you to be walking around envying someone. Full of envy, murder. You know, you're a murderer if you hate your brother. You're a murderer if you hate your sister. And you ain't going to the kingdom. That's why I wonder how it's going to be for the strong hatred that brothers have against each other. This church, like I might call preachers pork chop eating preachers, but I don't hate them. Not my people, that's Israelites, because a lot of brothers and sisters coming from the church. You see? But there's a judgment if they continue to the end. If they don't repent and come and learn the real truth, what this Bible is talking about, learn about the Most High continually, or Mashiach Yahushua continually, and who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, those 12 tribes that the Bible's talking about, even to the end. You know, gates gonna be each of the tribe going into, they're not teaching this. Gonna be 12 tribes. This Bible is our book. But, you know, they hating on each other. No way. How you going to the kingdom? Look. Show you real quick. I'll have to tap on this because that's what this envy is. That's what this envy is coming out, because we don't care enough about each other. And we all we have. You gonna sit there because a brother from another camp, brother from another congregation, we already don't do nothing when we being jacked up, something happening to us. 1 John 3:15. Whosoever, no matter who it is, hateth his brother is a murderer. You hear that? So whosoever, no matter who it is, hateth his brother is a murderer. And you know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him. Now, that's for us, right? Look what Esau, so-called white man, said. Through the Spirit of the Most High, what he said in Ezekiel 35:5. Most High said this. He said, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and have shed the blood of the children of Israel. You know, our forefather Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And we became the 12 tribes of Israel because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. No murderer going to the kingdom. If you hate your brother, and that's our fraternal twin brother, and we hating on each other, we just read that in the curses. That's why we like we are, because we not keeping the commandments of the Most High. You can say keep the commandments all you want to. If I'm saying you keep the commandments and I'm sitting there hating on my brother and my sister, how's that? I'm trying to show you how to make it to the kingdom. I'm trying to be an example. And I'm sitting up here hating on each other. I'm hating on each other. Even things that don't happen to me, that's real bad. I still didn't go there. I put it in the hands of the Most High. I gave it to him. Mashiach Yahushua to the Most High. Period. And let it go. Like it tells you to do. That's why I know I look for solutions. And that's what I do. And it works. You ain't got to be walking around here. Oh, I mean, it takes action. It takes some energy to be hating and doing all that, man. So, and here we are. We brothers, and we have no reason to be envied, jealous, and trying to be somebody in this wicked kingdoms, man, that we in right now. You gonna tell me the kingdoms are righteous? The kingdom showing you how to keep the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High? I don't think so. Look, you envying your brother. And the envy is so strong that it's hatred. That's why I say no murder is going to the kingdom. Look, Revelation 21:8. But the fearful, unbelieving, unfaithful, and abominable, those that break the Most High's commandments, and murderers, there it is. Murderers are those that unjustly kill someone, and murderers we just read. Those that hate their brother, hate your Israelite brother, murderers. And whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Come on. That's why we don't need to be there. Got to look at as much as possible. Rely on ourselves. We got enough. At least I know I have enough. I don't know where y'all at, but I know I have enough that's against me outside from our people. And our people, 2/3 of our people, to not be dealing with trying to sit up here hating on someone. For what? For what you going to get out of that? Except for you're going to spend a lot of energy spinning your wheels and end up with an ulcer or something. So you're going to end up jacked up. They ain't even did nothing to you. You all jacked up behind, got just all this hatred in you. That's not, let it go, man. Let it go. Give it to a Mashiach Yahushua. That's all I can tell you. I said, hey, lay it on him. Lay it on him. You ain't got to be concerned about it no more. If you have faith, you know. But if you don't have faith, then it's going to take something else to get you out of wherever you're at. I don't know where you're at. I can't say where you're at. So wherever you're at, hopefully the Most High will bring you out of it spiritually. You know. He said, hey, Matthew 16:27 said, for the Son of Man, Matthew 16:27, for the Son of Man, Mashiach Yahushua, shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels. And then he shall reward every man according to his works. See, he'll reward every man according to his works. So you have an opportunity. Do what's right. I know what's right. So he said, Matthew 11:28. Come unto me. This for all you that have this deep hate, this deep, whatever it is, you got to repent from that. Come out of that spirit. Because this spirit, them demons that have you just hate. And don't give me this picture. Surely a person make a wise man mad. I don't want to hear that. Because whenever anybody tell me that, I'm like, man, how you oppressed? They got a roof over their head, they got food, they got clothes, they moving around, do whatever they want to do. What are you talking about? Mashiach Shai said this, Matthew 11:28. And that's why I say you can find an excuse to be hateful all you want to. Especially hating on your brother. You know, I'm not even sitting here hating on no one. I ain't give that energy to no one. I got it when it's needed. I have it when it's needed. I got it whenever it's needed. But I don't walk around and deal with hatred. Man, you end up jacked up in your health. Your health will go down. Things gonna start happening to your health. Believe this, man. Matthew 11:28 just say, come unto me, all you that are labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Read these gospels, read Matthew to John. Say, learn of me and read him, find out him in the volume of the book from Genesis all the way throughout the prophets. He said, hey, learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart. That's humble. And you shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You see? So when you give it to him, say, give it to him. Say, his burden is light. You can take it on. But your faith, he told you in, I guess I got to go there. Mark 11:22. He told you this. He said, hey, Mashiach answering said unto them, Mark 11:22, have faith in the Most High. You know that? Have faith in the Most High. So you don't give it to him, Mashiach, to give it to the Most High. That's what Mashiach said, have faith in my Father. Have faith in your Father. Have faith in our Father. Ain't that we started praying with our Father, which art in heaven? Hallowed be thy name. Huh? Have faith in the Most High. First thing he said. Well, barely, excuse me. So like you must have so much. The VERILY goes back to AMEN too. Just like TRULY goes back to AMEN. It's not that many things that, you know, I've found so far in the King James Bible, just a few things, you know, like LORD and GOD and VERILY, TRULY, and AMEN, you know, I mean, so I just eliminate AMEN because if with that being there, what is it saying? For AMEN, I, who is AMEN, say unto you, is that who's speaking? It's in red in my Bible. I have a red edition Bible. So it's a Mashiach Shai speaking, my big brother speaking. So these are the things, like I'm saying, like, see, when I don't know, it's like, the Israel say ain't no enchantment with Israel, but y'all, some kind of way y'all under a spell. Some kind of way y'all under a spell to me. That's why I said what? Revelation 18, last sentence in verse 23. For by thy sorceries, witchcrafts, plural, plenty of witchcrafts, multitude of witchcrafts, multitude of sorceries were all nations deceived. You see? And we're nations. We're 12 nations that make up one nation. You see? But you could say there's no enchantment to Israelites, but then you don't really experience it. How many brothers say that? Then it's like, man, you're not spiritual enough to really see just these little things that I'm pointing out here to you. That they specifically put in there in a way that you would say, even those that are Christian would say, in the name of Jesus Christ, A-M-E-N. In the name of Jesus Christ, A-M-E-N. Is that his name? In the name of Thomas, A-M-E-N. That's not my name. In the name of thy one, A-M-E-N. That's not my name. That's not his name. But they still put it in there. And I have to bring this out because I still hear it and it's like real prevalent, like say whatever. Y'all can say the Bible in the tamper with King James Bible in the tamper with. You tell me is that his name? Yes or no? Because they put it in the Bible right here in Revelation 3:14. It's all red. You see, my Bible is all red. All that's red. That's him speaking. That's him speaking. And they put it right there. Have an envy about this. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the A-M-E-N. Is that a Mashiach Yahushua to you? Faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. That's a lie right there, man. A-M-E-N was not the beginning of creation of the Most High. If you love him, man, it should bother you. I don't know what y'all thinking, man, or anybody else. You put it there. And y'all saying it. Mashiach Yahushua. A-M-E-N. In the name of the anointed Savior. A-M-E-N. You can't even see it. Written all over the Bible. They had hundreds of years to do this. They took scriptures out. They put them into. Going back to Romans, the first chapter. That's what I said. You gotta understand what he said. And that's what I see, Romans 1:25. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? I just showed you lies in the Bible. I just showed you lies. And worship and serve more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. And, because you can't just say no, A-M-E-N. Mashiach said, no man come to the Father but by me. If you ask anything in my name without no New Testament, I would do it in the name of the Lord and Savior. That's how we reach the Most High. He said, no man come to the Father but by him. Would you think he just saying that because he just came on the earth in the flesh? No, it's been that way. I could give you in the name of the Lord and Savior, Most High in the name of the Lord and Savior all throughout the Old Testament. I think I've done lessons on that. I didn't do all the scriptures, but I did a lot of them because there's a lot of scriptures that I have that the Spirit of the Most High showed me when it can't show me Mashiach. And it's sad because people don't care enough. They don't love him enough. Say whatever. They don't love him enough. They really look at what they've done and the change. It's not a hard thing because I've been doing it for years. I've been doing it for years, so it's not a hard thing. It's just a matter of where you at. And saying that he don't matter. It don't matter. It do matter. Or say to me, it don't matter. Because y'all ain't changing, say to me, it don't matter. For you that say it don't matter, you think I'm being technical, you think whatever. Concerning the Most High. Look, verse 28. Can't get no clearer than that. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge. Send me videos on just about the Most High. You can show that somebody teaching about the Most High. Him alone. Not him telling Israel anything or him, just him alone. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, just gathering the right information about the Most High. You hear what it said? Even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, you better understand. You think it's not important to retain the Most High in your knowledge? Because you don't. The Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. I don't care how many scriptures you to do those things which are not convenient. To who? For them, for you. If you're following it and you're not really dealing with the Most High, who his name is jealous. Come on, y'all. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters. All these are spirits. Backbiters, haters of the Most High. You'll be surprised. People that you think is all that, they ain't about the Most High. They ain't about a Mashiach ever said about whatever it is that some of y'all ain't but filthy lucre to them, as the scripture says, what they can get out of you. Because when the book is closed, then what's the word on them? You don't know. All you know, it's like me. You say, well, I like to teach it. I don't. You like, you don't, whatever. You have some kind of opinion or whatever, but you don't really know. These people are part of our nation. Me here, let's talk about us, Israelites. Look, verse 7, Romans 1:7. To all that be in Rome, be loved of the Most High. Be loved of the Most High. All that be in Rome, be loved of the Most High. Who is that? Who to be loved of the Most High? How we prove that? Real quick. Baruch 3:36. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob. That's our forefather, whose name was changed to Israel, his servant. And to Israel, the Israelites, his beloved. You see? So the Israelites are the beloved, no one else. So now when you see here, who's it addressed to? Romans 1:7. To all that be in Rome, we were living in Rome, scattered among these other nations, beloved of the Most High, called to be saints, right? We know the saints is defined in Psalms 148:14. Called to be saints. So this is how you get understanding with the precepts, because without that, I mean, you just kind of like gonna be just like regular preachers, man, just running your mouth. Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the power of his people. The horn means the power of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near to him. Praise ye the Most High, you see? So the saints are defined right there. That's who it's talking to. I'm saying, if you go to the first verses of these New Testament chapters, and this is how you just dismantle anybody says talking about anybody else. Going back to Romans 1:7. To all that be in Rome, Beloved of the Most High. Israel, my beloved. We just read that. Baruch 3:36, called to be saints. Okay, Psalms 148:14. Define who the saints are. The children of Israel, who are we? A people near to the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. Praise the Most High. Look, grace to you and peace. Okay, grace. I mean, this is real simple. Grace. Who is grace for? I'm showing y'all this. Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. The reason why I'm here because people will take the Bible and they'll read it and they'll say it's talking to everybody. It's not. Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. This the people saw, like y'all seeing. Some of you seeing, they come in and go out, boom, they in, out, boom. They don't like the fact that it's going against the grain. It's going against what they've been programmed to believe. But they can't gainsay it. Who's the grace for? This the people saw, since we know that the saints are the children of Israel, who are we, are people near to the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. That's what we just heard. This the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. So the grace is with the same people that we just defined as the saints. The Israelites, the children of Israel, you see. So when people talk about they're under grace, they're not an Israelite. What tribe they from? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. I ain't no Israelite. I ain't no Jew. Well, they ain't not a saint. Period. Period. It ain't talking to them. So they can't go in the book of Romans and say it's talking to them. Period. So that's how you do that with all the chapters. Okay, if it's Corinthians, Philippians, wherever. You go to the first part of those chapters and you see, matter of fact, if you want to go further, you can go, because it's going to bring up the Most High. Come on. Romans 1:7. To all that be in Rome, beloved of the Most High, that's the Israelites, called to be saints, that's the Israelites. Grace to you, just say grace and mercy to the saints, right? And peace from the Most High, our Father. Come on. Acts 3:13, you ain't got to go that far. The Most High, our Father. Who's the Father of? Let's find out. Acts 3:13. It's easy work. Acts 3:13. The power of Abraham, and of Isaac, and of Jacob, the power of our fathers. You see that? See how easy that is? That defines, when it say our power, our fathers, excuse me, power of our fathers, there it is, the power of Abraham, and of Isaac, and of Jacob. Abraham had Isaac, Isaac had Jacob. And that's who the Most High says name is forever and ever and ever, the memorial to all generations. Exodus 3:15 and 16. You know, there it is right there. So that's how you know it's not talking about everybody. So now, got that out the way. So now it's telling you all these spirits that's in these people that are that love the creature more than the creator, that love anything more than the Most High. And that's how our people are. And they tap into religions and different philosophies, lies, and false education, all these different things that we've been subject to. Why the truth is so opposite of the way you would have to think being normal in this world. You know, that's why Master says you're going to be hated for his name's sake. Because once you really start to spiritually tap into the Most High, who is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit, and stop there and stay there. And stay there because you already got those that are saying they follow the truth, which is the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, right? But we go to, that's John 4:24, just because you wanted to know. Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit. And you stay there. And in truth, because you're already supposed to be, you know, telling people to repent and keep the laws. So you're supposed to be knowing the laws, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, to the best of your ability. But that spiritual part, that's the part that people have a problem with. People not really locked into. enough, I'll say. And some people think they are, but they're really not when it comes down to how you conduct yourself in all matters. When you're spiritual, it's always about, dang, that happened there. And you tap into the Most High because he's spiritual. That's where the spiritual comes from. That's where the power comes from. In other words, you give it to a Mashiach Yahushua, he give it to the Most High, and the Most High brings it back. That's why it's very important to look at how this is spiritual. That's why he said, verse 30, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, brag about everything, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. And you substitute, that's the first commandment of promise. Honor thy father and thy mother. And children now, but wow, man, they don't care about whatever the parents say. Without understanding, therefore they don't know how to get rid of evil. Covenant breakers. I mean, say we're going to do this, don't do it. Without natural affection, That's deep. And that natural affection starts with a man and a woman with a man. You know, when it comes to us loving each other, caring about each other, being there for each other, how you gonna be for someone that you don't like? You done talked about them and y'all always at it all the time. And next thing you know, Most High have it so that bam, you right there together. And the only way you're gonna make it is to help each other. Oh, I can see that happen. I can see it happen in the spirit. You done hated each other, talked about hating each other, this, that, third, and you all both together. You know, we're gonna save yourself, both of you, from the enemies that's against us, is to fight together or work it out together. Work out whatever this problem is together. How you gonna make it? He already told you, ain't no murderers. You hate your brother, you ain't going to. You hate your sister like that, you ain't going to. People, they look at us like something wrong with us. Well, they don't go over this Bible, what it's talking about. Without understanding, verse 31, covenant breaking, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. That's one I really looked at. The Most High said, grace and mercy is to his saints, but we as men will look at a situation and will not give mercy. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve to get. Very few times, when men of so-called stature that don't really have no stature. Just because you know the Bible don't give you no stature, man. To think that you all that. The more, much is given, much required, the more humble you're supposed to become. Unmerciful. See that? Unmerciful. Go make sure you get whatever you deserve to get, or looking to get you. Some brothers be like looking to get you, looking for you to make a mistake. Instead of keep you from making a mistake, they're looking for you to make a mistake. If you do, that's when they time to come. They ain't have nothing to come down on you except for they're looking for something to come down. No mercy at all. And if something happened, then you'll see them happy. You see something happen to you. Who, knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they would commit such things are worthy of death. You hear that? You better go. So I'll tell you, y'all Simon, go over these different definitions, all these different ones that his name in here. They that do such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. You hanging out with people of the world that, or Israel, whoever, that's doing these things, that have this kind of spirit. Say you deserve death. And you deserve death that have pleasure with them. That's a lot of spirits that is saying that if you have pleasure with people that's like this, why he say you separate us? You wonder why you get in the truth, all of a sudden you be separated, because a lot of people have these spirits. That name right there. And you have pleasure with them, so you deserve the same too. You know what he said? Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them worthy of death. That's serious, man. That's not just talking about men with men and women with women. That's talking about all them spirits, man, that we just named. Titus 3:3. Titus 3:3. You have pleasure with the people that do all those different wicked things, man. He said, hey, you deserve death too. Wow. Is that your Jesus? Hey, he bringing it. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it is what it is. Y'all better understand. And so I say, man, it's a fearful thing. Fall into the hands of the living power. 31, excuse me. Titus 3:3. To speak evil of no man, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness with humility unto all men. Just to our people, To speak evil of no man. Who really gonna operate like this? To speak evil of no man. To be no brawlers, fighting each other, man. But gentle. Scripture said, be at peace with all men, if it's possible. Showing all meekness, which is humility, unto all men. But we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse different lusts and pleasures. That's why you find, I look at a lot of people, they come from religions, serving different gods and so forth. That's all that is. It's no different than when the Greeks came into power and say, you're going to follow my religion and get rid of your laws until this day, man. Leave your laws alone. You don't want to follow the Most High no more. The whole objective is to keep you from following the Most High rules and regulations and do what they say do. They become that creature, this system, Esau, this system that he set up. I mean, it is what it is. And wicked Israelites, same thing. They have what they have, created for us to follow. And we do perfectly. That's why I call it brain polluted and not brainwashed. Because if your brain is washed, and my child says, St. John 15:3, now you are clean through the word that I speak unto you. That's why we got to know the scriptures. He said, for we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice, angry and don't have no cause to be angry, and envy, see, hateful, and hating one another. See? That's where a lot of people are coming from. And coming from that, how are you going to still remain there and say you're in the truth? When it said in verse 2, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. That's what it's saying. Be humble unto all men of our nation. Because it looks bad whenever you have to be caught up in these things, man. Because the Mashiach said, he that exalt himself shall be abased, brought down. He that humble himself shall be exalted. Verse 4. But after that, the kindness of and love of the Most High, our Savior, toward man appeared, not by works of righteousness, that we do that was right, which we have done. So you can't get all big-headed thinking because we kept to keep the laws that this is the reason why. But according to his mercy, he saved us. According to his mercy, not getting something we do deserve to get. That's mercy. He saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Spirit, which he shed on us abundantly through a Mashiach Yahushua, our Savior. You see? But not everyone. But only those that's going to really look at him. We're going to have mercy on those that really look at him. And really look at, first and foremost, that order. The Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, then man, then woman, child. Rather than just people. That's what we have to be. A lot of what we are in the world. No different from the world. The world like that. Some things the world do that. That's what myself say, the children of light. I mean, children of the world are wiser than children of light. Why? Because they got more zealous, more insight than we do. You come into the truth, all of a sudden you become so technical, you become like, I don't know, it's like it's just a different spirit that I see until you really learn to be spiritual and relaxed in this, man, rather than just all. I know from experience because I was there. So I can look at my past, how I felt and how it was and how I am now is altogether different. Spiritually, for real. Look, Romans 13:13. Let us go. The things that I can bring, like some lessons I bring to you because I have them from years and years ago, 90s to now, you know what I mean? Like, but I have more to add because I've learned more. I've learned more spiritually. All praise to the Most High, by showing Mashiach Yahushua, because he gets all the glory. I can't take no credit for nothing. I don't take no credit for nothing. Ain't nobody. I'm just the vessel that, in these last days, I want people to see more of him. Why he can't be accepted more before he's going to be accepted when he put all of Mashiach's enemies under his footstool. That's sad, man. We made him cry too. Who cares? Whoever said that? There's certain things, it's like, man, where we at? I'm just trying to figure out where we at, really. Romans 13:13. Let us walk honestly as in the day. In the day you can see. In the day your eyes are open. Not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chamberings and wantonness, not in strife and envying. There it is right there. I don't like that, brother. He always talk about the Most High. I don't like that, brother. It's about Israel. You know what he's talking about? We the ones got to come up. Yeah. We ain't coming up. I'll tell you what. The Most High sitting on his throne. And the Most High got to rise from his throne. And you got to tell him, Mashiach Yahushua is on the right hand side of the Most High to rise and go and judge and make war. That's how it's going down. That's how it's going down. Just like that. So, and that's when we're going to really see the rise of Israel. That's why I say, verse 11 say, and that, Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time. You got to know the time, man. That now it is high time to awake out of sleep. You see? That's why we got to walk as in the day, because there are those that are walking, they're walking dead, you might say, because they got their eyes closed, they blind. Like we read that in Deuteronomy 28, chapter 5 of the curses. That's why I say, knowing the time that it is high time to awake out of sleep. But now is our salvation, power and authority that's coming to the Israelites nearer than when we believed. You see? Say the night is far spent. The day is at hand. See? The night is far spent. We've been in the night for a long time. We've been in the night since the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire. Ever since the Greek Empire, we've been in the night, y'all. The day is at hand. Excuse me. He said, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, ignorance, and not knowing. You got a desire to know more. Or you still in darkness, ignorance, and not a lot of things. And the only reason why you don't know a lot because you're prideful. And you don't ask enough. You're supposed to know. If I say, oh, open up this, what is this talking about? You should know. You should have an explanation of whatever it is that this Bible is saying. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. You know, envying someone, hating on someone, being jealous of someone, man. That's darkness. That's ignorance. And let us put on the armor of light. You're not putting on no armor of light. Armor is protection of the commandments of the Most High, and you're breaking the commandments. Make that make sense? You got the protection of the Most High, but you're breaking His commandments. That sounds like what the Christians say. I mean, Christian sanity people say, right? Don't they say, hey, the Most High hates the sin, but He loved the sinner? How are we going to say the same thing and walk in the same light? And it's talking to us as Israelites, and we follow the same suit. How you going to put on the whole armor of light and you envy your brother? You hate your brother. And you heard what he said. You deserve death. And all you that have pleasure with those that are like that, you deserve death too. How about that? All those different characteristics I showed you that he said in Romans, the 1st chapter. Y'all hear that? Y'all really feel that, or y'all just say, ain't talking to me? A lot of y'all be like that too. I ain't never been like that. And that's why I fear the Most High, because I was like, man, wow, ain't talk about me. Man, I put myself in there. To this day, I put myself in there. I don't think I'm all that. I'll be like, man, shoot, all this here, I can't be like that. I can't be like that. I was like that. I was like that. Yep, that's me right there. Okay, man, that's about change. Then you change. You know, who's saying that? Nobody. Everybody wants you to think that they all that, man. Ain't nobody nothing as they ought to be. Well, let's take that 1,000 years on my side going to teach us, and you teach us. That you're the only one got the truth, but you the one that have the truth. The commandments and the laws of the Most High down to a pat, down to a T. You do what my side going to show us for 1,000 years, if that's the case. So you come back to teach us of the Most High. I'm just trying to give you a head start before, he bring his wrath on, man. His wrath, look. Romans 1st chapter, verse 18. For the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven. You hear that? The wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all unrighteousness. You hear that? Against all unrighteousness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. The wrath of the Most High coming down upon all of us when you hold the truth in unrighteousness. This truth, we know the truth, right? Psalms 119, 142. Let's sing it together, class. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth, right? So you hold the laws and the commandments of the Most High in unrighteousness. We're telling you this is what's right. The moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. all throughout the Bible. There's anybody in the New Testament, they only had the law and the prophets only. That's why you talk about some New Testament in their books, and they were compiled together for us to have them now with numbers on them, right? But they only had the law and the prophets. That's it. So you're going to say that the Most High laws, and he tell you in Deuteronomy 9 and 10, he wrote the laws with his finger, is unrighteous. And the Most High is righteous. He's not unrighteous. He's righteous in everything that he does. For the wrath of the Most High, Romans 1:18, for the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all unrighteousness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them, for the Most High have showed it unto them. Yeah. Think about this. From all that, in the spirit that has come out so far, those that were here in the beginning, when we started in verse 21, as far as Most High, like I say, he's not really in the conversations. He's not really thought about. He's not really magnified or glorified. Enough, I say. That's why I say, look, verse 21. Because that, when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High. Because that, when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High. Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. That's why when you look at Ecclesiasticus 3:24, it's real, y'all. You better see us about him. Ecclesiasticus 3:24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. And that opinion comes, that envy comes with opinions. I don't like them, or whatever, something that you don't desire about someone, man. As much as you see happen to us, in the fact of the matter, we ain't even talking about the Most High. You know what it said? Because that when they knew the Most High, Romans 1:21, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High. You know the Most High, but you ain't glorify him as the Most High. Neither were thankful. Neither were thankful. I mean, a lot of people, they need to be raised over again. Ain't no the water, ain't no thank you, ain't none of that. They ain't thankful. They don't know how to be thankful. Nobody has to do nothing for us, or you, or me, or no one else. Especially the Most High. When you're looking at how he's blessed you, he blessed every last one of us today. Because you have your right mind, you still here. You're able to go through these scriptures and understand what's going on, and you're able to breathe this day. All praise to the Most High, man. So much of young son, they know the same said, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High. That's what I said. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator who is blessed forever? Then they put that AME in there. Is that the Creator? I showed you, they call him the Most High that. They call him Mashiach that was shot at AME, and they put it in there like that. Who gonna catch on to that? Or y'all just gonna say, oh, that don't mean that. Prove it. Bring forth your reasoning, your strong reasonings. I know the Spirit has shown me that. I believe that, man. They ain't coming with it. The ones did it. They're not coming with nothing about it. But our people, man, we be down. You're gonna always promote the wickedness, man. That's why the wrath of the Most High gonna come down upon them, man. You don't repent and change. 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 3. But ye are yet carnal. If you carnal, you're not spiritual. But ye are yet carnal. And the brothers say, I'm keeping the law, so I'm spiritual. The law is spiritual. But spirituality comes in when you really start receiving the deep spiritual understanding to not be carnal, man, you're going to start seeing things happen in your life. When you have a testimony that the Most High exists, listen for the Most High existing in somebody's life. They got a testimony to tell you. Look what happened. Oh, man, praise the Most High. When you hear that, you got to hear it. It's got to be something that shows that the Most High is in. Because people have said it, way back in the day, probably longer than y'all probably can remember. 30-something years, I remember that. Well, show me how he's working for you. When they say that to you, what you going to tell them? Bing, I know you out of here. Bing, you out of here. This is real, y'all. This is real. Look, Mashiach told the apostles, it's real. How much faith do you really have? I mean, do you just going through like you went to school and you learn how to memorize things? Is that what this objective is, man? Come on, you got to have some kind of real. The reason why I say that because that's giving exaltation to the Most High. You glorifying Him because He's coming through. Come on, man. How we gonna get out of here if it ain't about Him? You got another way? Mashiach said, he said this in John 14 chapter. He told him this, John 14:12. He said, look at that. They put, see right there, they got AMEN. See? But if you ain't know that, that's why I'll praise to the Most High, that a brother came in and revealed that to us. VERILY and TRULY is AMEN. And you can put it right there. AMEN. We in St. John 14 chapter, the 12th verse. AMEN. I say unto you. Now, we done seen that they put a must be without a shadow of a doubt. In Revelation 3:14, thus say the AMEN, faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. They tell you in Colossians 1:15 that a Mashiach that was shy is the beginning of the creation of the Most High. Most High created a Mashiach that was shy, and Ephesians 3:9 say He created all things by a Mashiach that was shy at the top spirit of the Most High. Period. And they put it in there. Like they took scriptures out. You can look, I have lessons where I show where they took all these scriptures out. Or these other Bibles outside of the King James 611 Bible, but still they tamper with this too. Come on. That's why I said, look, He said, I say unto you, I'm leaving them VIRLYs out. They're saying AMEN, I. Is that who you talking, who you following? No. I'm leaving that out. You can cross that out, matter of fact. Let me cross it out so I don't even see it. But you see earlier, I made a mistake and said it. I'm used to saying it, And that's about change. That's all it is about change. I say, John 14:12, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. You see? He said the works he done, he's gonna do greater works than he done. He's going to the Most High, making sure that he sends the Spirit. He's not going to leave you comfortless. He's going to come. He's going to come to us and bring, he said, whatever you give to him. His burden is light. But, people can, that's why I say it's spiritual. It's spiritual. People not spiritual won't understand what he's talking about. It's real, though. And it works. It works, That's why I love hearing the testimonies. The Most High came through here. He came through this way, that way, whatever. People, that's why I say, think about that. You think about the testimonies that you have, that you can really tell someone you're in the truth, but then you don't have no miracles. You don't have nothing that happened that's phenomenal that you can give glory to the Most High, praise him. You got to look at that. In work and being, like he said, Most High is a spirit. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Right? Let's say spirit first, say and in truth. So that's spiritual. You're gonna find ain't no other way but him. You're the only way. You're the only one gonna deliver us. I know that. Going back to 1 Corinthians 3:3. But ye are yet carnal. Hear that? But ye are yet carnal. But whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, and ye are not carnal and walk as men. Let you know, you got envy and you got strife. You have strife against your brothers and sisters. You're not carnal. Walking as men, you are carnal. That's why he said, hey, verse 2 said what? Verse 1 said, I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Mashiach Yahushua. And that's kind of like how I look at, okay, well now, if everybody's being taught as babes in Mashiach Yahushua, is this why they don't understand being spiritual? Because the Most High said in St. John 4:24, take your time and look at it. He said, the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Spirit and in truth. The truth is the commandments and the laws of the Most High. So you're doing that, but this spiritual is different. And it adds on to what it is that you get closer to the Most High because he is a spirit. And when you get spiritual and you start talking about the Most High, you start putting him in your conversation, put him in your life, then you become spiritual according to these scriptures. You see, it works together. But then you'll see that things start to materialize, things start happening. And if they don't, they still give them praise and glory for seeing another day. Just that, all praise to the Most High. He allows us to see another day, closer to the kingdom. He said, 1 Corinthians 3:1, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual. Is everybody not spiritual? I don't care if you claim to keep the commandments or not. When you got that out against your brother, day after day, got that grudge against your brother, against your sister, you ain't spiritual. You carnal. He said, and I, brother, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes. You babes and learning in the name of the Lord and Savior. He said, I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able. You see? That's why he gave them, even saying this, it's still, Paul's writing still is hard to understand for those that are not really, versed in a lot of what the Bible is talking about. It's hard. You can't just read it. That's why you got these Christian insanity people that's in these religions going to Paul over a Mashiach Yahushua. How you gonna go over to Paul? And I'm showing you what a Mashiach Yahushua is saying. And Paul was taught by a Mashiach Yahushua. So how you gonna say that he's saying something different? Ain't no different. It's just they don't know. They don't know. They have not been taught. That's why I say I have fed you with milk. A baby have milk, like beginners, novices, and not with meat, not with strong meat. To understand. That's why, you're looking at where we're at, and we have the understanding of Revelation, the first chapter to the 22nd chapter. Paul and Peter, the apostles, they didn't have that. They didn't have revelations. They never seen revelation. It didn't exist when they walked the earth, And the people, especially, they never knew the understandings of the writings, because it came around 90 to 96 AD. Everything fell by 70 AD. That's why he said, I fed you with milk and not with meat. His milk is still deep. You know what I mean? Hard to understand. Well, hitherto, you were not able to bear it, see? And that's why a lot of people are not able to bear Paul's writings to this day. Neither yet now are ye able. Neither now at this day are they able. You see? See, for ye are yet carnal. They're carnal. But whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? Come on. Look, for while one said, I am of Paul, I'm of this camp. And another, I am Apollos, I'm of that camp. Are you not carnal? Hear that? I'm of this my leader. That's my leader. Say, are you not carnal? Who then is Paul? Who then is your leader? Or who is Apollos? He said. But ministers by whom ye believe, even as Hamashiach Yahushua gave to every man. He said, I have planted. He planted the word. Apollos watered. But the Most High gave the increase. You see that? That's why I keep telling y'all, the Most High is left out. Double honors here, double honors there, but all praise to the Most High, all praise to the Mashiach Yahushua. That's it. That's the beginning. Then after that is all praise to the men. No, man. He said the Most High give the increase. So then neither is he that planted anything. One said, I'm a Paul who planted. Because Paul said, verse 6, I have planted. Apollos watered, right? So now get some pride out of that. So then, verse 7 says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase. Okay? Read you again. This for all you high-minded people that think because we have learned what we've learned and are the ministers of the Most High in these last days, thinking we somebody, man. We ain't nobody, man. Nothing else we ought to be. Or you're the ones going to teach us the 1,000 years of knowing of the Most High with someone that you even talk about. You know what it's saying? You ever hear the humility in this? I have planted, Apollos watered, verse 6. But the Most High power Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob gave the increase. What did Paul plant? He planted the word, didn't he? Apollos came after him and added on to it. But the Most High gave the increase. Me be saying this, I taught them I did that in my fruit. Nah, man. 1 Corinthians 3:23, just jump over there right quick. And ye are Mashiach. We belong to anointed Savior. Mashiach is the Most High. That's the last thing he said in that chapter. But we ain't still in this chapter. Look what it said. I have planted, verse 6, I have planted, Apollos water, but the Most High gave the increase. Y'all see the exaltation of who? The Most High. That's why he come back and say, hey, now he that planted and he that watered to me. So then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watered, but the Most High that giveth the increase. You hear that? That's why we can't think we are that now just because you know this and somebody come in and they did this, you know, it feels great, I guess, you know, to see one come in because the angels rejoice when one sinner, you know, repenteth and so forth, but not for us. There's a certain way. So that's why I say spiritually, carnally, yeah, you can exalt yourself all you want to. That's carnal. Spiritually, no. You hear what he said? This spiritual. So then neither is he that planteth, that's Paul, anything. Neither he that waters, that's Apollos. He ain't anything either. But the Most High that giveth the increase. You see that? Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one in the same mindset. And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. You hear that? You're going to receive your own reward according to your own labor, works that you've done. Not looking at what some other person done and you're going to jump on the bandwagon of somebody else. No. Everybody going to meet your judgment seat by themselves. His own reward according to his own labor, the works that you have done. For we are laborers together with the Most High. Ye are Mashiachim, and ye are the Most High's husbandry. Ye are the Most High's building, according to the grace of the Most High. Now you know that grace. You see that word grace. I define that in Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. Grace and mercy to his saints. That's who he's talking to. Go back there. I don't need to go back there. You can go back there to 1 Corinthians 1 and 1 down. You will see it's talking to the saints and say, the Most High, you see G-O-D, the Most High say the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his name forever, memorial to all generation. Therefore, you ain't got to deal with nobody saying that he's their power. They're not of the 12 tribes of Israel. Point blank. It says, according to verse 10, according to the grace of the Most High, which he has given unto me, so you have to be an Israelite. There's grace to the saints. It says, as a wise master, as a wise ruler builder, I'll say, because M-A-S-T-E-R goes back to B-A-A-L. You see? And they got us, repeating what it is that they would have us. So, a wise builder. I have laid the foundation and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereon upon. Like we used to say, you got to bring your brick, put your brick into this foundation, You build it with the bricks, putting your brick in. You got to be doing something outside from yourself. Like no matter how it is that the sacrifice has to be brought about, I'm here. And you got to know that you got to be there for somebody else. It ain't just for us. And just for you yourself, it's for all of us to be able to give to someone else. According to the grace of the Most High, which is given unto me, Paul said, as a wise builder, I have laid the foundation and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. That's real. And our foundation, for other foundation can no man lay, that is laid, which is Mashiach Yahushua. You see? Now, if any man build upon this foundation, gold, silver, precious stone, wood, hay, stubble, want that money, every man's work shall be made manifest. You take this and you use it for lucre, filthy lucre's sake. That's what he's talking about. You bring this foundation of Mashiach Yahushua to make money from it. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. Straight up. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he have built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. It is righteous. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss. But he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. We know that fire represents Jeremiah 23 and 29. That's what we're going to judge you by. That fire, right? Jeremiah 23, 29. Is not my word like as a fire? Jeremiah 23, 29. You be judged by that word, by this word. Said the Most High. And like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. Come on, 2 Ezra 13, 38. When Mashiach come to judge and make war and take down all these kingdoms and take them out by what? Fire? Let's see what it says. 2 Ezra 13, 38. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts and their torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. That's all the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Forces of all these nations coming against them. Mashiach Yahushua, he's coming to judge and make war. He's coming to make war, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor. How? By the law, which is like unto fire. The word of the Most High, man, gonna burn them up, man. So that's why I say it's work. Your work is how you keep the laws. 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. So like 12. 2 Corinthians 12 and 20. 2 Corinthians 12 and 20. Second Corinthians 12 and 20. But now are they many members, yet but one body. And the eye could not say unto the hand. This is when you look at 2 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, it's dealing with spiritual gifts, and it deals with the anatomy of the body, I say we are one body. But now are they many members, but yet but one body, you see? If you have many members, and that's why I say I like this analysis of we're different congregations, different churches, different camps, but we are one body. And it's not going to be in the judgment or actual leader if they can justify the fact that it's just going to be there. Because, a lot of churches, they teach that they're the only ones that has the truth. That's going to be the ones that are going to heaven, the ones going to be, 144,000. And I mean, that's in regular, secular, worldly religions and so forth. They teach that. So in saying that, how are we as Israelites still coming up with the same thing? We one body, with different members. And I think the Most High is going to make it so that we have no choice but to be one body again. Or you can just start getting rid of people. I said, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. You know, like I say, man, as many people selected, as many people as I've seen come and go in this truth, you know, it's about who going to endure to the end, who going to really remain, who really here today. That's what it's all about. Because most High remove you, just like you, no matter how strong you are. I've seen powerful brothers, man, just gone, just woke up one day and they was finished, man. Just sisters too. Learn. Ever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Because it was, they had that foundation of a Mashiach Yahushua. You had it. Can't nobody take it away from you. But if you don't have it, then you got to find a way to. The main thing I think, our people too prideful. I have no shame in the game. You heard me say, I'm just like Paul. I ain't nothing. I have no shame. That I know in part and prophesying part. I don't know it all. The part that I know, I'm giving. And I'm sincere about what it is that I'm bringing forth, especially in these last days about the Most High. People envying people, man, for what? For what? Most I say he hates you if you're a poor man and prideful. What you got to be prideful about? What do you have to envy someone when you have a whole lifetime to do whatever you want to do? You have opportunities. I mean, you can't say you have no opportunities. Too many opportunities here. We're in the best place to be. America. Look, Galatians 5 and 19. Let's deal with this. Flesh. That's carnal. Being carnal here is now the works of the flesh. That's being carnal. Are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envies, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Hear that? And you see, envying's up in there, man. Our topic is right there, man. Envyings. That's envying a whole lot of people. Envying this day, that day, whatever. Folks, let that go, man. You shouldn't be envying no one. I don't know why people envy someone. They gotta. You're not dealing with true love. You keep the commandments. Commandments told you what to do. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's how you feel about yourself, the way you envy and hate someone else. No, you can't prove that. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. That's what Fergus say, love. You don't love your brother. You don't love your sister. Now you don't even know each other. You know of each other, but you don't even know each other. Some of you ain't seen each other for years, or don't you know nothing about whatever they're dealing with. The changes they've made, whatever, you don't know that, but you still hating on someone from, that's like, you gotta go there, Leviticus 19. Gotta look at this because it keep coming out and y'all seem to be trying to nitpick on each other or trying to find ways to dislike each other. Look, I love your brother. Look. Leviticus 19:1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Most High, your power, am holy. And that is for you New Testament buffs that only had a New Testament. Romans 7:12 defines holy. It says the law is holy. That same law you said we not under? You've been taught we not under? It say the law is holy and the commandment holy and just and good. So it says And verse Leviticus 19 and 17, it says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. That's the law. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Make him break the commandments of the Most High. But thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. And that grudge going to envying. You start grudging, having these grudging attitudes, man. Then you start envying them. Thou shalt not avenge. You know, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Or bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High. That's the law. So it says the first characteristics of the fruit of the Spirit is love. And what is love? 2 John 6. We just heard the commandment. You just heard the commandment. 2 John 6. And this is love. And we walk after his commandments. You just heard the commandment. In Leviticus 19, 1 and 2, and verse 17 and 18. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that, as ye have heard from the beginning, ye shall walk in it. You know. Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, keeping the commandments of the Most High, joy. And when you keep the commandments of the Most High, you can have all these characteristics: joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, that's humility, temperance. Against such there is no law, because you're going to follow what the first one said is love. And love is the keeping of the commandments. So ain't no law against what you're doing and keeping the commandments of the Most High. And they that are Mashiachim, but most people are not Mashiachim. They are whoever in charge of you. Put Yam on the end of their name. Have Mashiach, they that are Mashiachim have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. That's something you really need to look into. Affections and lust. You know, a lot of y'all lusted, man. You can't even get the Most High one day, a week, his day, his holy day, or the Sabbath, not doing your pleasure. Better hear this. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit and not be carnal. Let us not be desirous of vain glory. You hear that? Vain glory, worthless glory in the kingdoms that we still in captivity in. Gonna be somebody. You know what I just think in my mind? Chicken George on Roots. He was pretending like he was a preacher, and all the women coming around. And they say, hey, vainglory, want to be somebody. And that's what a lot of people are. They want to be somebody. Provoking one another, envying one another. You see that? Provoking one another, envying one another. And that's wrong. That's why I tell you, once you understand a lot pertaining to being spiritual, tell us, let's go to 1 Timothy 6 and 4. 1 Timothy 6 and 4. And for Water for joining me, give a like if you can. Just cool. It's just a tap to the lesson, because it's very important that, you know, we see this and share it. It need to be shared out too. 1 Timothy 6 and 4. Let's go up. You start at verse 2. Now they got masters. I'm gonna say teachers. Okay. 1 Timothy 6:2. And they that have believing teachers, because master goes back to Baal. And like I said, they had our Bibles for hundreds of years, and they put their gods in here as mastertruly, Verily, Amen, and even God. They created that word. You know, around the six, this is a Germanic word that the Edomites created. They put it in here was to call upon their God. Plural. That's what I'm gonna say, teachers. 1 Timothy 6:2. And they that have believing teachers, let them not despise them, because they are brethren, Israelites, but rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved. And we know to be loved, Israel might be loved. Can't be nobody else but Israel, because he said Israel might be loved in Baruch 3:36. That's why it's very important to look at these words and define these words according to the Bible. So when you see them all, okay, you have to be an Israelite, because they'll take this word and they use it for everybody. It's a lie. They are faithful and beloved, partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. So if any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our power, O Mashiach Yahushua, and to the doctrine which is according to righteousness, he is proud. This is how you know characteristics of him. Teaching this other doctrine, say he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy. That's the first thing it says. Come envy, strife, railings, arguing back and forth, evil surmisings, perverse disputing of men, of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth. That we see, you have to tap into the be tuned into what the laws and the prophets and the commandments that the Most High brought forth, man. Destitute of the truth, destitute of the commandments of the Most High, supposing that gain is righteousness. You see that? And that's a lot of our people. Oh, they see, oh, they got all this elaborate, luxurious, church, and they got this going on, that going on. Supposing that gain is righteousness, from such withdraw thyself. You hear that? Or you drawn to all that. It says, the scripture says opposite. It says, from such withdraw thyself. The proud, that's knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmising. Sounds familiar. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is righteousness. From such withdraw thyself. See, you have a right to withdraw yourself from certain men, certain women. But righteousness is contentment. With contentment is great gain. Righteousness with contentment is great gain. Very important. We brought nothing into this world. What you bring into this world? You came out of your mama's womb. And it is certain we can carry nothing out. And when you die, you're butt naked, cut you up or whatever, and do whatever they're going to do, put you in the casket and put you on the ground. That's it. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. That's the problem, a lot of people. They're not content. That's why you got to put this in here. Because he know that we're going to be all envious and jealous and prideful and doting about words of strife and, arguing back and forth, being evil. Why you always got to tell us to love your brother, love your brother, love your brother, love your brother, love your brother. Why? Because we have to be told over and over again, because we have ADHD spiritually. We got to be told over and over and over again. But we don't get it. That's why I say withdraw yourself from these people, man. So I said, having food and raiment, you got some food, you got something to put on your body, let us be therefore content. He said, but they that will be rich fall into temptation. That's the devil. And a snare, a trap. And into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drawn men in destruction and perdition. Catching a lot of hell. This ain't something that you just can look at and everything gonna be okay. No. At all. That's why these are instructions. You see, that we got to go by. That works. But envying brothers, man. I'm not supposed to envy no one. It's a lot. James 3:14. James 3:14. Let's start at verse 13. James 3:13. Who was a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. With humility, weakness is humility of wisdom. But if ye have bitter envies, if you have bitter envies against your brothers and sisters, and strife in your hearts, strife in your minds, glory not, don't be glorying. And lie not against the truth, because you lying against the truth. You see brothers have bitter envy and strife in their minds. You say, glory not, don't be glorying. And lie not against the truth, because you ain't doing nothing but lying against the truth, because the Most High done chose you. You gotta love thy neighbor, man. If you hate your brother, you are a murderer and you're not going to the kingdom, period. You hate your sisters, you're not going to the kingdom. Ain't no murderers going to the kingdom. You just like a murderer. That's how serious this is. That's how you have to put it to us to get us to care about each other, man. Love each other, man. But where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. Where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. Straight up. So when you're envying someone, you're bringing about confusion in every evil work. You're bringing in the devil, straight up. Look, 1 Corinthians 14:33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion. So the Most High is removed out of that. I don't give a dang how many scriptures you bring forth. It said, or whatever your status is that people want to elevate you to. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. And we know we the saints, Church of Israel. You see that? But it tells you in James 3:16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. So you ain't rolling with the Most High, because the Most High said he's not the author of confusion, but of peace. That's how he's going to come forth. But then you have those that's really not going to be able to stand the fact of the matter of how they got to change. They don't want to change. And you can't recognize us, and you just don't have the ranking of, or the position, I might say, in your congregation, your camp, your church, whatever, to be able to step to someone that's of a higher authority because you're too scared to say something, and you see it, to change them. You don't ever know. Did the Most High have in your mind to see that these things are really relevant? You might be able to save a soul, or they're gonna kick you out. So a lot of you, you're scared. What it is, y'all scared. You're scared to step up to say something, and you see it. That's what it's like. But where envying and strife is, this is James 4:16. There is confusion and every evil work. See? And what is this a sin from? Verse 15, it says, this wisdom descended not from above, but is earthy. Earthy means it's carnal. It's of the flesh, sensual, devilish. Verse 17, but the wisdom represents knowledge, was the proper application of knowledge. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality. Without, partiality means you favor this person more than you do the other person. And that's a lot of that's clicking. A lot of y'all do that, man, without partiality. A lot of y'all suck up to the leaders or the heads, or y'all scared. Like I said, you're afraid. Most High don't give you a spirit of fear. You're supposed to fear only the Most High. Without partiality, favoring somebody over someone else. And without hypocrisy, you're saying one thing, but you're doing something different. In the fruit of righteousness, the commandments and the laws of the Most High is sown in peace of them that make peace. That's serious, because that's what Mashiach Shai said. Matthew the 5th chapter. You know what I mean? These are the things that we have to look at, go by, to make sure that we in the spirit, being spiritual. He said, Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek. That's the humble. But they shall inherit the earth. So show me where it says, blessed are the prideful, but they shall inherit the earth. You're not going to find it. But it says, blessed are the meek. That's the humble. But they shall inherit the earth. Verse 7, blessed are the merciful, but they shall obtain mercy. Remember, I told you mercy is not getting something you do deserve to get. Verse 9, blessed are the peacemakers, but they shall be called the children of the Most High. See? He goes on to say, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, but theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that are persecuted for the commandments and the laws of the Most High in bringing His word. And you don't see it with these secular churches. Where you see that at? That it's happening with them. It's not happening. Unless they did something with somebody else's wife or something like that, you might see something go down like that. Or you have one of these, they let the enemy into their church and come in and kill everybody like that happened before. But other than that, you don't always see that. James 4 and 5. James, the 4th chapter, the 5th verse. Do you think that the scripture said in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? Do you think that the scripture said in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? That he give us more grace, because getting something you don't deserve to get. Wherefore he said, the Most High resisteth the proud. You hear that? Most High resisteth the proud, will give grace unto the humble. Will give grace unto the humble. Will give us grace, getting something you don't deserve to get, unto the humble. So the grace not coming to the proud. He resists the proud. It says, submit yourselves, therefore, to the Most High. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near, draw nigh, draw near to the Most High, and he will draw near to you. Now, I mean near. Draw near to the Most High, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, you that break the commandments of the Most High, you that break the laws of the Most High. Repent. And read from Genesis to Deuteronomy over and over again. You see them laws. You get them tested into your spirit. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners. I mean, we have to define sin because we in the New Testament. And he talking about we ain't under the law. 1 John 3 and 4 defines what sin is right here in the New Testament. Whosoever committeth sin, 1 John 3 and 4. Transgressors also the law. Let the Most High go with his finger, though. What laws? He gave us moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. 5 sets of laws. He said, whosoever committeth sin, transgressors also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So if you break the law, then you are called a sinner. That's what he's saying. You're called a sinner. That's why I said in James 4 and 8, draw near to the Most High, and he will draw nigh or near to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners. Then you know, hey, you a sinner. The Most High ain't drawing near to you. That's a sinner, breaking his commandments, doing his rules and regulations. And you think he gonna? That's like they say, the Most High love to sin. He loved a he loved a sinner, but he hates the sin. How would they say in secular religions, man? That's why I have to keep on rebuking that spirit, man. This is what it says in Ecclesiastes 12 and 6. Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha that the Protestant church took out. It says, Ecclesiastes 12 and 6, for the Most High hateth sinners. See what it says? That's why I said, look, James 4 and 8, draw near to the Most High, and he will draw nigh or near to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, you that break the commandments of the Most High. What do you feel about a sinner? Since you say he loved a sinner, but he hates the sin. Ecclesiastes 12 and 6, for the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the unrighteous. You hear that? You're going to pay vengeance unto those that break his laws, statute, commandments that y'all taught that you're not under, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Well, that's why I say, hey, James 4 and 8, draw near to the Most High, and he will draw near to you. How you going to draw near to the Most High? You ain't even in your conversation. Oh, I just pray to him. And Christians pray to him. People that's in Muslim pray to him. Everybody in these different religions pray to him. You gotta know. You gotta talk about him. His name is jealous. That's the only time that your association with him is private. I got my private. That's what I say. I got my private relationship with my God, whoever that is. That's serious, y'all. Draw near to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's his name forever and memorial to all generations. Can nobody gainsay on that? Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands. Clean yourself up, man. Marshall said in St. John 15:3. Now you are clean through the words that I speak unto you, man. Be sinners and purify. Cleanse your hearts, cleanse your minds. When you think, you double-minded. That's real serious, y'all. Why he said, hey, you double-minded, got something for you. Told you this. He said, in James 1:8, he said, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. He wishy-washy. He said, hey, go this way, that way, whatever way the wind blows. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted. Listen to what it says. It talks about it earlier than that. And verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, he said, that's proper application of knowledge, let him ask of the Most High. That giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not. He's going to give it to you, and it shall be given him. Ask the Most High for wisdom. He'll give it to you. But let him ask in faith. You got to believe in the Most High. This is not something that you just doing and you're not really, you got to say, I got it. Most High gave it to me. He loved that. Nothing wavering. There it is. Nothing wavering. You this way, that way, whatever way, wherever the wind blows, that's how you are. Nothing wavering. Especially when you don't praise, y'all. You got to look at this. That's what I'm going to say. You got to say it. You pray, then you say that it's going to happen because you prayed for it. You get the Most High the glory for bringing it forth. And it'll happen. Oh, yeah, you talk about me. Oh, yeah, you like me. Okay, all right, I'm going to do it. Instead of just thinking, because everybody, just like Moses. Moses didn't make it to the promised land. Why? Because he let the people get on his nerve. And the Most High told him, or Most High told him, the Most High said, speak to the rock. He's going to bring forth his water. And Moses let the people get on his nerve. He hit the rock twice with his staff. Boom, boom. And the Most High brought the water because he loved us. We were thirsty. He said, hey, Moses, because you ain't giving. I'm telling you how serious this is. And Moses was a man that spoke to the Most High mouth to mouth. Straight up. He didn't see him, but he still dealt with the Most High in a way that men didn't. He was the most humblest man too. And he showed Moses, he said, go up to this mountain. I'm going to show you all the lands that the Israelites are going to be at, and other nations too. But he showed them all the lands. He said, you see all that? That's what I'm going to give all the children of Israel. But you're going to go over there and die. You know why? Y'all think y'all can play with this if you want to. He said, because you didn't give me the glory for bringing my water. Because when he hit the rock twice and the water came out with his staff, people thought that Moses and Aaron, Moses did it, Instead of the Most High, that's how serious this is. And we trying to make it to the promised land. Now, you can stop yourself from going by not giving the glory to the Most High. Simple as that. All praise to the Most High. You better learn it. I'll tell you that. I saw myself outside. Nothing else. You don't get learn anything else in this lesson, you better learn that. Give the Most High praise the Most High. But I saw myself outside. Which one of y'all think y'all better than Moses now? He didn't make it to the promised land. He didn't get the Most High the glory. That's how serious this is. He did not get the Most High the glory, so he didn't make it to the promised land. he did not give the Most High the glory, so he didn't make it. And here y'all are making light of praising the Most High. Before I leave up out of here, are you envious people that's envying whatever it is being said tonight, or not envy your brother, sister, whoever? Get over it. Ecclesiastes 43 and 29. They say the Most High is terrible. Terrible. And very great. And marvelous in his power. You know? When you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as you can. Well, even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength. And be not weary, for you can never go far enough. You hear that? Put that in your memory. When you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as you can. But even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength. And be not weary, but you can never go far enough. You hear that? So people not exalting him. To me, all praises to the Most High. Some of my shot, shot. For real, for real. That's why I say, hey. And this is not something that you just doing because I'm doing it. You got to have it in your spirit. That's why that spiritually, you're going to feel it. You're going to automatically do it. You're going to want to do it. It's going to be something that you desire, but then you want him to do something for you. That's like they say, you know, we ain't under the law, we're under the grace. I got to keep bringing it to a face of such as say that and think that. We ain't under the law, but we under grace. You ain't have to do what the Most High tell you to do. Listen at this carefully. You don't have to do what the Most High tell us to do, which is his laws, his commandments, right? But he got to give you what you don't deserve to get. That's grace. He got to give you what you don't deserve to get. You're praying to the Most High, and you're praying to someone that you already done said in public. I ain't under no law. I ain't under the law. I'm under grace. That came out of your mouth. So many mouths of these secular people that go to these different Christian sanity religions and so forth. And you program like that. And yet still you praying to the Most High, someone that you already said, you ain't got to do what he said. Do his rules and regulations. That's his laws, statutes, and commandments, right? You already said you ain't got to do whatever he say do, because you ain't under his rules and regulations. But yet still, he got to give you what you don't deserve to get. That's grace. Make that make sense? I got to keep saying it to y'all. Maybe you can share, learn it, and then share it with someone that believe that is saying that. It's crazy. Make that make sense? Don't make any sense. It don't make sense to a young child. Let's more adults. You know, we finished it. We the brain polluted for real, for real. We on some other kind of ignorance, some new kind of ignorance. It's sad, but it's real, y'all. It says, James 1 say, but let him ask in faith. You want that wisdom, ask in faith. That's what Mashiach Shai told me. Mosai told us, through Mashiach Shai, have faith in him, have faith in the Most High. Mark 11:22. Nothing wavering. You can't be wishy-washy, man. You know, you got to be straightforward. But he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed, man. Going this way, that way, whatever way. Say, for let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Most High. You know that? You gotta be straightforward. That's why Mashiach Shai said, look, let me show you something. It's real easy. Hopefully you can see it. He said, uh, and find it. Here it is in Revelation 3:15. It's a lot. But I'm wavering, right? He said, I know thy works, Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. You ain't leaving it alone, and you in it and you ain't hot. You don't lost your fire. I know thy works. You say that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. I wish you wouldn't be dealing with it at all. Or you hot, you zealed up in it. Like me, I'm zealed. I'm still got the zeal. I'm hot in it. That's how you should be. So then, because thou art lukewarm, you straddling the fence. You hot, but I can do this part, but I ain't doing that part. You lukewarm and neither cold nor hot. You ain't either leaving alone or you all in it, winning. I will spew thee out of my mouth. You know what's coming out of his mouth? Let me show you. Revelation 19:15. He ain't playing with y'all, man. Revelation 19:15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and with it, this sharp sword that's coming out of his mouth, he shall smite the nation. He's going to kill the nation. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty of Most High. Don't get it twisted. He's going to do the nations like that when he come to make war. He's doing Israel the same way too. I got the wrong idea of myself outside. This is real. We come back, coming back right here, look. Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass, Zechariah 13:8, that in all the land, said the Most High, 2 parts, that's 2/3, therein shall be cut off and die. But the third shall be left therein, right? And I will bring the third part, that's 1/3, through the fire. You see? You're going to bring the 1/3 through the fire. And we'll refine them. The 2/3 going to be in the fire. But he's going to bring the 1/3 through the fire. He coming back with fire, y'all. And we'll refine them as silver is refined. And we'll try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is my power. Understand, overstand. That's why he said, Amos 9:10. Amos 9:10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us, who said. Let's look at let me start at verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, are upon the sinful kingdom, like America. They're not keeping the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, teaching people to keep those laws of the Most High. This is a sinful kingdom. And I will destroy from off the face of the earth, right? Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Most High. We just read about the 1/3 that's going to bring through the fire, right? But lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, because we scattered among all nations. Like corn, like as corn is sifted in a seed, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth, right? The least grain not going to fall upon the earth. The least, right? That's that remnant. But the 2/3, that's that 1/3, right? Because the 2/3 is going to be falling upon the earth. See, all the sinners, all those that break the laws of the Most High, all those that break the commandments of the Most High, of my people shall fall by the sword. You know that sword that's coming out of his mouth? He's going to burn people up. Which say the evil shall not overtake nor within us, right? So I say, what do you say? For lo, I will command and sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sea, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. The least is the 1/3, that remnant. That's why that remnant won't be caught up to go on the chariots. Not those that envy, you ain't going. You got envy, pride, and jealousy, all the stuff you ain't going. You're a murderer. You hate your brother, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to be right there on the earth. That's why I go say, look, when he say this, you're going to be right on the earth with that fire that's burning. Revelation 11 and 12. They heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. That's why he's sifting and sifting. They've sifted up in heaven in a cloud. That 1/3 in a cloud. It was a chariot, which the angels drive. And their enemies beheld them. They're going to see us going up in the chariot on Sarat's outline. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, this destruction, like he said, going to destroy from out the face of the earth. And the 10th part of the city fell in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. And the remnant, there go that remnant, that's that 1/3 that he's sifting in that sea, gathered from all the countries of the world that we've been scattered in. That's that remnant that he's sifting in the sea. That's not the least. That's the least. That's the remnant. And the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the Most High Power of heaven. You hear that? They gave glory to the Most High Power of heaven. Praise the Most High. But they ain't used to doing that. How you going to all of a sudden you're going to be a part of that? You know, what they doing? It's too late. They said, praise the Most High. You ain't give glory to the Most High to let somebody else do it? No. That remnant going to already be there. They're going to already know to do that. They ain't going to be envying that they ain't going to be there. They ain't going to envy. All you envy, you're going to be right there down there on the ground burning. Envying somebody. Same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake was slain, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were frightened. That remnant is that 1/3 that we just read about in that sea. And gave glory to the Most High Power of heaven. Second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quick. Come on. You gotta recognize, y'all. You gotta recognize this is very, very important. That you don't be part of that. Don't let it, divides you, change or something. Now, we're going to look at charity, which is love. And this is compassion for your brothers, compassion for your sister. We know the first love is keeping the commandments. But charity is dealing with also the love of your people. 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. Charity suffers long and is kind. Charity envieth not. You see? Charity envieth not. You're not going to be envying someone. You're dealing with love. Charity vaunteth not itself. It's not puffed up in pride. And don't vaunt itself. Charity's not, you should be, like you said, content with yourself, that you don't need to brag about yourself. You need to talk about, now I tell stories, I tell things about myself, and I'm not boasting. I just want brothers and sisters to be able to be spiritual, and not just carnal, and not just look at the things that I'm saying. Look, charity suffers long and is kind. Gotta be kind-hearted. Charity envieth not just for somebody that's in your church, your congregation, your camp. Kind. Charity envieth not. I mean, you hate somebody, you can't even say shalom, but you speak to everybody else of the world. They criminals, they evildoers, all that. Hey, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Running your mouth to them, but then when they come down to your brother, you can't even salute your brother. You can't, hey, what's going on, brother? Come on, something wrong with that picture to me. But you see the ones that's, good and well, man. These brothers ain't changed. They still the same, got the same spirits they had in the world. Just know how to go over some scriptures or up in the churches, came from the same, they rolling the same way they did in the world, just got the Bible in front of them, pretending like they somebody that they not. Come on now. Charity vaunted not itself, you know? Charity ain't puffing itself up, man. Like people do, man. You know, bragging and being arrogant. It's not puffed up. It ain't proud, man. Not, you can't be proud. You envying somebody, man. You envy them for something that they accomplished or something they doing that you don't like. Why? Just do you. Be content with you. Take the qualities that they have and add them to your qualities of you, how you are. You gotta be no robot. So I say a bunch of robots and robotees, and y'all follow the same suits and leaders and going down the line, get worse and worse as you go down the line. That's why you have a problem with somebody on the phone, you call somebody, let me speak to your supervisor. You know, some cops come, let me send a supervisor out here. As the supervisor comes, she'll get better. I can't say about the cops, but whenever you on the phone, you're dealing with somebody, say, let me speak to your supervisor. You get the supervisor, it gets a little easier. They can do more for you. You know, they can't do enough. You go through the corporate. I'm going to take it to corporate. You start talking about that. Oh, now you start getting things happening. You see, that's how it goes. Because as it goes up in the ladder, they more easy. They're going to have to deal with the fact that you don't bother them with something they could have took care of themselves and did themselves. And now they want to be technical and, you know, hardcore against you. If you do it, it gets better and better and better. Look, 1 Corinthians 13 and 9. For we know in part, brothers. For we know in part, brothers. And we prophesy in part, brothers. For we know in part, brothers. And we prophesy in part, brothers. Apart. But when that which is perfect is come, or Mashiach Yahushua, then that which is in part shall be done away. It's going to be complete, you know, understanding. But the Most High said, going to put his rules and regulations in our minds, man. It ain't in our minds that we ain't ready yet. He said, well, we know in part and prophesy in part. But when the Mashiach come back, that part that we don't know is going to be done away with. Man. Things that we do know, just then the third, he's going to say, hey, this is it right here. 1,000 years of teaching us of the Holy Father, and you think it's not important? Talk to me. I want to hear y'all responses. Y'all don't really come at me about that. Guess because I say Hebrews 10:31 all the time. The favorite thing to fall in the hands of living power. That's what we're going to be dealing with. For real. Look, Job 5:2. Destructive man being envious. It's destructive. But wrath killeth the foolish. Wrath killeth the foolish man. And envy slayeth the silly one. You know? He say, envy slayeth the silly one. That's why he said, Proverbs. Envy slayeth, killeth the silly one, man. That's why he said, Proverbs 1:22. How long these simple ones, right? Call you simple, man. Would you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. And fools hate knowledge. You see? Fools hate knowledge. And how long these simple ones would you love simplicity? Come on, man. Especially you that go to these different secular churches, man. Y'all really simple. Why I say that? Because you not really being taught. I don't give a dang how you went to, like this woman, she came to church, she was like almost in her late 70s, man. She was crying and crying and crying and crying when she came got finished with the class. She was like, she learned more in one day than she knew in all her life. That was in the Bible Bible's really talking about. But you think she came back? Nope. But she was just crying for the fact of, I guess, how simple she had been made to be in the religion. Go back and they just keep you in that simple state of mind. That's all I can say. It's a lot to learn. I know that. That's why I say, how long these simple ones will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorners. And fools hate knowledge, man. We hate knowledge. Proverbs 14. Proverbs, go to Proverbs 14 and 8. Proverbs 14 and 30. A sound heart, the heart is the mind, the way you think, your thoughts. A sound heart is the life of the flesh. But envy, the rottenness of the bones, man. Envy, man, destroys you from inside out. That's why I say you can't be, and then just you be sick. And you can't be healed because you're sitting around. That's why I say take energy. Those are negative energy. Those are negative spirits. Envy creates a negative spirit. You draw the devil or his little imps to you. Anybody that's like that, that's what it says. That's why I say what it's saying, man. A sound heart, sound mind is the life of the flesh. You know that? The life of the flesh. A sound mind is a life of the flesh. But envy, the rottenness of bones, man. That's cold. That's like destroy you from inside out. Look at Numbers 25. Numbers 25, 25th chapter. It's birthed in scripted caca, man. I mean, staph disease. When you look at, because it's spiritual, like I say, whatever can happen like normally in carnality, man, when you look at that spiritually, when the Most High saying these things, man. Numbers 25th chapter. Verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. The Most High said we're not supposed to be interracial marriage. They called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. Remember, he told you in Psalm 96 and 5, for all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens. And he called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. But what we do, we commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. What's the law say? Deuteronomy 7 and 3. It don't matter who it is. They not an Israelite. He said this. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? But they will turn away thy son from following me. That's what we're just reading about. That they may serve other gods, other idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy these suddenly? See that? What did they do? What did we do? Numbers 25 and 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. See? We married into the daughters of Moab as the indigenous Chinese people. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. See that? And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. See? Israel joined himself unto Baalpeor, another entity of Baal, which means Lord, and the anger of the Most High. Wow, you got another foot Lord. Was kindled against Israel. See? And they got many, they got many different BAALs, man. Like let me show you. Baalpeor. Baalpeor. No spelling, because we're not supposed to let the name of these gods come out of our mouth. A Moabite deity. Probably. They don't really know, so they say probably. This Chemosh, the national deity of the Moabites. You see, Chinese. So they got all these different ones, man. A lot of different BAALs, a lot of them come from the Moabites, man, the Chinese. You know how they are right now. You don't better recognize. So you see what we did? And going back to Numbers 25, and the Most High said, verse 4, the Most High said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people, hang them up before the Most High against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Most High may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baalpeor. See, that's what I'm telling y'all. Baal, they put it, that's their God. The ones that publish this Bible is making the money off the Bibles. They put it in the Bible, which it means Lord, and it means Master. It means HUSBAND too. They put it in the Bible. Come on now. What the Most High said? The Most High said unto Moses, verse 4, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Most High against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Most High may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay and kill ye every one his men that were joined unto Baalpeor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses. Now he killing all the ones that's dealing with that, right? So he brought a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, in the sight of all the congregations of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he is the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, saw it. That's Aaron's grandson. He rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. You seen that? Took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through. He killed the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. You hear that? Mashah killed 24,000. Moses speaking to Moses saying, for he is son of Eleazar. You know what he just did? The son of Aaron the priest have turned my wrath away from the children of Israel while he was zealous for my sake among them. You hear that? You hear that? Was it for Israel's sake? It was for the Most High's sake. He said he was zealous for the Most High. You know what he said? While he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. His name is jealous. I'm telling y'all, you think you're going to bypass you hearing it, and you still going to continue to do the same thing? Calling on Baal? When you know it means Lord, you still calling on him, knowing that means Lord means Baal? Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his power and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Recognize it. Who don't recognize it? Anyone? Hope you do. At least share it with somebody that need to know, man. We just stop saying these words, man. He took that meeting out of man, and he just showed favor to the Most High. He just showed that he loved the Most High. He got zealous for the Most High. The Most High stayed declared, we got to deal with Jacob's trouble. And a lot of y'all just waiting for it. Like, no, you think it's going to be something you're going to be able to deal with, man. It's going to be something else, man. You better be zealed up with the Most High. He don't only hope. He only... He's the only one going to do this out of this madness, man. Look at Elijah. Go to 1 Kings, the 19th chapter. 1 Kings, the 19th chapter. And start at verse 7. He was dealing with the angel of the Most High. About chapter outside. The angel of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, and the angel of the Most High came again the second time. The Testament said, arise. And he, because the journey is too great, it's going to be a long journey about to walk. Go to and eat. So we have that nourishment. And he arose and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of the Most High. And he came thither unto a cave and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Most High came to him, and he said unto him, what doest thou here, Elijah? Isn't that this good? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Most High power of hosts. This is what we need to be. We need to be jealous for the Most High power of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, contract, the agreement, the laws, that the commandments that the Most High gave to the children of Israel. But what he said, he said, I have been very jealous for the Most High power of hope, power of army of angels. Our power, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant. We broke the laws and the commandments of the Most High, the agreement that he had with us. Thrown down thine altars and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left. And they seek my life to take it away. And that's what, I mean, same thing Ezra was told. Ezra 1, verse 32. Ezra 1, 32. Ezra, we had lost the Bible by the time Ezra was on the scene. Once I gave him everything, and 124 more books than what the average Israelite have. We only have 80. The people that go to church only have 66. So we'll see the same thing that's said here. The book of 2nd Ezra, the first chapter, verse 32. So I send unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain. That's what Elijah was crying out to the Most High. So I'm the only one left. They want to exceed my life. Look, he said, I send unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. See? That's why Elijah crying out to the Most High. He said, hey, First Kings 19:10, and he said, I have been very jealous for the most high power of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant. We broke the most high's laws and commandments, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. We killed the servants of the Most High that he sent to us. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. This us. This ain't nobody else. This is what we did. And he said, go forth and stand upon the mount before the Most High. And behold, the Most High passed by. Great and strong wind rent the mountains, and breaking pieces the rocks before the Most High. But the Most High was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. The Most High was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. Can you imagine this? You up on the mountain, man, you seeing all this happening? Earthquake. I don't know if y'all been an earthquake or not. That's pretty shaking around and stuff. But Most High was not in the earthquake. After that, and after the earthquake, a fire. But Most High was not in the fire. After the fire, a still small voice. It was so. When Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle. You know, mantle was like, it come like, maybe like right here, like come like right here, around there like that. He took it and put it over his face. Right, it says. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, verse 13, that he wrapped his face in his mantle, put it over his head, and went out and stood in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, what doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Most High power of hosts, you know, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain, killed, and thy prophets, your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only am left. And they seek my life to take it away. The Most High said to him, go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. He tells us the Most High ruling the kingdom of men. He tells him, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. Yeah, he's not an Israelite. Say, hey, but they tell you in. That's why it's really key and pointed to know the scriptures. They tell you in Daniel 4:17. Hold that, we're coming back there. Daniel 4:17. This matter is the part of the creator of the watches and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know, we the living, that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. That's what he got. You know? So he's telling Elijah to anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. He rules in the kingdom of men. So 1 Kings 19:16, and Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shall thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha, son of Shaphat, of Abel Meholah, shall thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. Meaning, Elisha gonna take his spot. And it came to pass that him that escaped the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay. Whoever escaped the sword of Hazael, he killing people, Jehu gonna kill him. And him that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay, the prophet, kill him. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal. He was dealing with that wicked Jezebel and wicked King Ahab. But you see, that's why it's very important. Because we hear, but by Baal has been put in this Bible as Lord. Masterhusband. So he said he got 7,000. Maybe some of you are the ones that bow down to BAAL, so you can't stop saying it. I represent him. I mean, don't make no difference how you look at it. BAL represents LORD. They even had on Jeopardy. I just sent out a video of. Let me see if I got it right here. Let me see if I can find it for you. Jeopardy. See if I can find it on Jeopardy. Yes. Recognize, man. I mean, it's sad that you have to really bring Esau saying it for people to really realize it's real. Take to the spirit of the Most High. That's why you see the Most High put them to death, man. Because of their unbelief. Hopefully I can find it. I'm scrolling. It's a lot of this that I do have. There it is. Wait a minute. Oh, sure. Hold up. You can't hear it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Bear with me. Okay. It's a lot there. Change it up. I had to turn my phone down because of that. That's what we know. Four-letter name of a chief Canaanite god means Lord. What's that? Yes, God. Four-letter name of a chief Canaanite god means Lord. What's that? Yes. Four-letter name of a chief Canaanite god means Lord. What's that? Yes. See? Ain't no clearer than that. Four-letter name of a chief. See, still want to play. I'm turning it off. Still want to play. Yeah. See, I mean, four-letter name of a chief. Still want to play. See that? That's why it said, 1 Kings 19 and 18, yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. So he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing. Look how powerful Elisha was. I got to see this in your mind. Elisha, the one that's going to take Elijah's place. Remember, Elijah went up in a chariot. And he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 oxen, 12 yoke of oxen before him. You hear that? 12 yoke of oxen before him. And he with the 12, he back here, he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that side. He plowing like this. What kind of power we had, y'all better understand, man. Plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him. And he with the 12th. Man, Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. Wow. Man, he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee. And he said to him, go back again. What have I done to thee? And he returned back from him and took a yoke of oxen, and slew them and bore their flesh with the instruments of the oxen and gave unto the people, and they did eat. And he arose and went after Elijah and ministered unto him. Man, that's powerful, right? That's powerful, y'all. 12 yokes of oxen performed. That's what the Most High said. He had to shrink our stature. He was a powerful man. I'm just about finished. I'm going to deal with Psalm 69 and 9. Psalm 69 and 9. Psalm 69 and 9. Man, that's powerful. For the zeal of thine house have eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me. That's Mashiach Yahushua. Straight up, man. Reproaches, disgraces of them that reproach thee, you are fallen upon Mashiach Yahushua. Proverbs 27 and 4. Took on all the things that were against us. And he was despised for it. That's why I said they're going to hate us for his name's sake. Wrath is cruel. And anger is outrageous. But who is able to stand before envy? Yeah. Wrath is cruel. And anger is outrageous, I said, but who is able to stand before envy? Man, that envy is something else, y'all. That's why I'm going to end with that. And like I said, I'm going to pick it up on the Sabbath night. You can join me 2 nights from now. Same time, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Mountain time, 9 p.m. Central time, and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining me. You can give a like before you leave. All praises to the Most High. That's right. That's right. You know, and share the video if you can. It's very important because a lot of people envy, and that's wrong. That's totally wrong to envy someone, especially our people, man. You shouldn't envy anyone for that matter, you know. And with that, I say, come Most High. Rise Most High. Come Mashiach Yahushua. Rise Mashiach Yahushua. Come Yasharella. Rise Israel. Lights. And I'm out. Water for joining.